at that gallon of water. Welcome to the Flow Show for the love of wrestling. How you doing, Baka?
I'm great, man. So I try to drink a gallon of water every single day, and I've been doubling it up because all day tomorrow we're going to be at Venice Beach, 6 a.m., 6 p.m., in the hot sun, doing the best I can to spread COVID. But the problem is when you drink all this water, you have to take a piss every 5 seconds. Every 5 minutes you have to go to the restroom. People think I'm doing coke because I keep going to the bathroom, right?
Well,
Can't win.
I'm not gonna lie. I look at all your posts, and I'm always like, man, that's pushing COVID, man. Like, and the fact that you admit it. Luckily, only like 4 people will watch this. So,
Well, the thing is that the U.S. government pays me to push COVID. That's what.
oh, is that what's going on?
Yeah. Spread AIDS and COVID. So
How's
that's
AIDS
what I get
going?
paid for. Going okay. Magic won't go down, but besides that, it's all good.
I ain't gonna be there.
They have to, like, they always push the narrative, especially in the late 90s. Wear a condom. Wear a condom. Wear a condom. You get AIDS. You could die. So the fact that Magic Johnson is still alive, it doesn't do good for the businesses spreading how dangerous AIDS is, right? Because people can say, hey, dude, if Magic has it, I could get it too.
Well, Kanye thinks it's because he has money. If you're listening to Late Registration album, he doesn't really like Magic Johnson on that album.
What does he say? He says, "You telling me if my grandma?" No, he says, "If Magic gets a cure from AIDS and all the broke motherfuckers pass away, you telling me my grandma was alive? You telling me if my grandma played in the NBA today, she would be okay?"
That's pretty good because I'm not gonna lie.
Amazing.
I was like, what is the line? I know it's in Roses.
Yeah, Roses.
But
I miss the old Kanye, man. So Magic
that's
Johnson being alive.
Did you see my street cred right there though? Like
that was great. What did you see my hip hop naughty cred that I knew what line you were talking about off the top of my dome?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Magic Johnson being alive is bad for the AIDS. It's bad for the narrative about how dangerous AIDS are. But you also you might survive AIDS like Magic, but then you also might have some other pitfalls in life. Maybe disappointed in the sun, things like that.
Okay. So speaking of deadly viruses, how do you feel about the Thunderdome? Have you seen pictures of it?
I love the Dudley Dome. The Dudley Dome. The Thunderdome. The Dudley Dome would be cool too, right?
Right.
I thought you want to talk about deadly viruses. You want to talk about Chris Jericho, AEW's own, doing a concert in the pandemic with 45,000 people, which is a little nuts.
Apparently there was social distancing, but according to the pictures.
Did you see the pictures? Yeah, okay, there's no social distancing.
Man, I don't. You know what? Like, I feel like Chris Jericho has that young Baka confidence. You know, he's just like, I'm just gonna do it, and then we'll see what happens.
No, it's a difference. Young Baka needs to make money, needs to pay rent, needs to get food and pay for his gallons of water. Chris Jericho has maybe a mindset that leans a little bit more right than it does left, correct? White guy, 45 years old, lives in Jacksonville, Florida. You gonna tell me he's a big fan of Obama?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Listen, you don't know, but I know.
Let me ask you this. Do you think it's because Fozzy, there's Chris Jericho leading, and then we don't know who the other members are? I'm sure the other members of the band aren't doing as well as Chris Jericho.
They have to, yeah. They have to make money.
So they hit him up and said, "Hey, do us a favor. We booked ourselves in a concert. We need our lead.
We need you to be there because if not, we're just Fozzy.
Yeah, we're not even Fozzy.
Let me see Chris Jericho's age. Chris Jericho, you know how old Chris Jericho's off the top of your head?
49 or 50, right?
He can't be 50.
Oh, he's almost there. He's either almost there or
49 years old. November 9th, 1970. Wow.
He'll be 50 this year.
Yeah, so that's amazing, man. And it's also amazing that some of AEW's top guys being pushed are 49 years old. Matt Hardy is 45 years old. Oh, John Moxley, 34. That's okay. What are you gonna say?
I wouldn't say Matt Hardy's being pushed. I just think he's there. He's a name.
He's out. He's still out of spite, right?
It's funny because you bring this up with Sean Spears a lot, but I actually am one of those guys who, like, just because you go to AEW doesn't mean you're gonna be on TV, right? Like,
it doesn't. Well, here's the thing. This is the timeline when a wrestler gets released from WWE. Get released from WWE. 2 days later, you jump on Chris Jericho's podcast, talk about how bad of a guy Vince McMahon is, and then 2 weeks later than that, you debut on AEW Dynamite. That's how it always goes, right?
Dude, so I believe FTR so far is being pushed the most, and then obviously Moxley, but Moxley's been kind of there from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think he counts. Brody Lee a little bit. He's gonna get a little bit of a tinier push, but whatever.
Well, they're saying that, you know.
I don't want to spoil anything, but
Okay, well, are we not spoiling it? Let's
I
just
don't
talk
think.
about it. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, who cares? They're saying
If you
that.
don't want to hear spoilers, whatever. But
Yeah, they're saying Brody. Listen, the woman the woman downstairs that's flattered I talked about on the podcast last week. I don't think she cares that Brody Lee's going to win the TNT Championship, right? So that's what they're saying. They're saying
I'm super for it because I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I understand Cody was the right person to win the TNT Championship, but I have not liked the run. Like those have been the most pointless matches in my opinion.
well, those matches are supposed to get people over. That's why
And have they
does.
done that?
Well, the problem is, I love Cody, but he's not Cena. He's not gonna give you those 5-star matches.
No, yeah.
So speaking of, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say like I don't think like Scorpio Sky. I don't feel like is more over now. Oh, Quincy's jumping in.
Sweet, let's do it. This is awesome.
We'll just keep this going.
Yeah, no, just keep it going. Speaking of Scorpio, I can't speak today. I don't know what's wrong. They're saying he's going to go heel, and that was the last thing to push him over the edge. What up, dude?
Quincy? Oh, it's got the
right.
Flow logo in the back.
Look at this, man.
Look at that.
That's awesome. How do I do that?
If I'm gonna be late, I gotta make an entrance, right?
That's
yeah,
awesome,
you do.
man.
We've technically started, but all we've talked about was AIDS. So I think you're pretty good.
With what?
Brian was telling me that Magic Johnson has AIDS.
So okay, I thought you said AIDS. I was like,
Yeah.
And then you said Magic Johnson right after. I'm like, oh yeah, that's exactly what you said.
Yeah, Brian has this crazy thought that Magic Johnson might have sacrificed his oldest son to beat AIDS.
No, I don't think that's the case. I didn't say that.
he
Well, when people watch
sacrificed
this over, the 4 people who watch this, when they watch this over,
Well, 4 people that watch this, but then the 560 people that watch the clips that I click out and put on my Instagram, that's the one I'm going to put.
Watch the show.
So I honestly, I get, just little clips I post. I get maybe 500, 600 people watching it. Yeah, and I really sell a narrative about what's going on the Flow podcast.
Yeah, you make me sound like this.
Like making racial, man. Because you're always making racial and political.
That's what my fans want to see, man. That's what the 45-year-old single moms that's what they want,
Okay.
What is that? Vitamin water, Quincy, or is that Kool-Aid?
No, that's vitamin water.
Okay, cool. Don't be getting on the podcast drinking Kool-Aid, man.
That's that dragon fruit getting that power C, 150% antioxidants. You know what I'm saying?
We've already broke a spoiler on here. If that upsets you, Quincy, in any way
about what?
The TNT Championship.
Yeah, just don't talk about it.
We did a little bit.
Yeah,
we'll just refrain from, because this is my thing. I had a homie that hit me up saying, "Yo, something already got leaked," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, "Oh, because they had the film on Saturday, so someone already leaked some really crazy information." I'm like, "Don't tell me. I got to work that day anyway."
Oh,
you know what I mean?
So you don't know what the spoiler is?
No.
Okay.
How do you stay in this kayfabe bubble in 2020? And it's not like you a man that just lives in his mom's basement. You're out to living a life, talking to women.
But you
also record podcasts and stuff too, so you have to be in the know.
I get push notifications a lot, so that helps me. Like if I see something, I just swipe. Like, you know what I mean? Because like me and my brother, we both get notifications in the morning. Like it'll be wrestling related stories. And then I immediately, like, whether it's something I could use for the show, then I'll check it out. But if it's something that's like, oh, NXT taping results, I'm like, nah, I don't want to.
But what about Instagram? You're on Instagram all the time too.
No. Instagram is the worst, and I do it to myself because I'll just be at work, not even thinking about.
It's just a natural thing.
Yeah, I'll just check to see what happened, and then boom! As soon as I open it up, I'll be on my Kwency Jones show page. It'll be like, oh, freaking Adam Cole just did this or whatever. Which, it's funny because sometimes I'm like, all right, that makes me just want to go home and watch it even more. But I don't know. It's one of those things as like, now that I've crossed the line of make-believe and I know kind of like behind the curtain and stuff and certain aspects of it, it's hard to go back to watch it as just being a fan without looking for those things. Mm-hmm. So it's like
you miss just being a fan?
I miss being surprised.
I think as an adult, though, it's difficult to just be a fan because the content's not always good.
Yeah, and that's
So
the biggest thing
so
too, because yeah,
sometimes you
you
need to
kind of grow
know.
into that
So you need
realization too. Like it's I
sometimes.
don't know. Like for me, like I said, I think so I get made fun of sometimes because I still like the spoilers, but it's like I said, it's that childlike wonder that I still miss from wrestling, even though I am like it's like yeah we know like we're too big for our imaginations, but every once in a while it'd be nice to just suspend reality for a little bit, just to be like just the I mean the last time I got legitimately like I was not cool. Like I was a total nerd. I nerded out. Was when AJ Styles showed up. You know what I mean? Because that to me was like something that would have never happened. And like I felt like I was in a parallel universe. Like I was like, this is weird. AJ Styles is on my screen and it says WWE on the corner. Like even for like the first couple of months of him wrestling for WWE, I'm like, all right, so when does he go back to TNA? Or when does he go? You know what I mean? I'm thinking it's just like an experiment that they're not even gonna like hold down. But that's what I'm saying. Like it's hard. It's hard to like.
But that was what 6 years ago, and you're saying
That's
that's
what I
what
was gonna
how you were
say. Like that's what I
shocked?
think 5 years ago. I think
Yeah.
almost like it's hard. That's what I was just about to say. It's hard to find those moments consistently that get that emotional reaction out of you still as an adult. You know what I mean? Where you're still like 100% invested, or like something made you 100% mad. Like the other day, I'll give him credit because Pat McAfee's been pissing me the fuck off. But
I love Pat
I
McAfee. We
love
talked
how
about this last episode. I love him.
I'll admit to you guys
just past Wednesday, I was like, I love how they made Adam Cole look kind of finally look like a little bit of a G. I was like, kind of handle shit on his own, but
What were you gonna say,
guys,
Brian?
especially with like the NBA playoffs going on, or just in general, I'll tend to look at spoilers to see
Go
if
Lakers.
wrestling was worth watching that night.
Yeah.
Like I tend to do that now. Like
True.
not always.
You having all the
Sometimes my internet sucks.
No, I said you're having all the sex, so it's a little different.
I was gonna say my internet does suck. So if I go
you got
out,
more, you got more offended about me saying your internet sucks than I did about the sex thing. I thought you were gonna be like, "Hey, don't talk about that
Hey,
stuff."
don't talk about
my internet
Hey.
sucks. What?
Hey, what? What are you trying to say?
Yeah, what you trying to say? So yes, you look for spoilers to see if it's worth.
Well,
you
like for
jumping on.
example, like I don't want SummerSlam spoiled. I think I'm gonna be
Stuff like that. You kind of hold sacred, right?
But like an average episode of Raw, especially in the Performance Center, like maybe the Thunderdome will be different.
Like there's like that's the thing. Like if 3 hour show on Raw, I don't care less. But if there's something like a specific segment I know they're gonna follow up on that I want to know, or it's like there's a reveal, like a big reveal, then I'm like, okay, I don't care about anything else. I hold off on that. You know what I mean? It's 3 hours. They're not gonna. I mean, like you said, we're gonna find shit to like not like about it. So it's like, yeah. But I find myself more like that with AEW because there's not a whole lot of spoilers out. Well, I don't know if you ask Chris Jericho, they have like an NXT reject. That's like
Oh yeah.
So
that's what he says.
Is it Conti? You think?
I think it's Tino Sabatelli.
Oh,
because he's been seen in the crowd. He's wrestled on Dark. Cesar Bononi was another guy who's been in the crowd and he's wrestled a few times. But I think it's Tino because it's Tino. I mean, you see how that dude's full of himself. So I can understand him being super excited. Kind of like remember Indushare? They like messed up the whole reveal of the Keith Lee, like the double champion versus champion match. And
they posted a picture on Instagram,
Yeah, you don't see them on TV no more.
Nope, you shouldn't be on TV. You make mistakes like that and you're a rookie.
Do you think it was a mistake though? I think
you
it was
think
on
they wanted
purpose.
to get cut? You think that's what they're doing? You think they probably had $50 in their pocket? You think they want to get cut?
I think I think my conspiracy is to get people to watch NXT that week.
No way. Why would you put that out there?
See.
Because if people are like, oh shit, Keith Lee's might
because they want to take advantage of the Black Lives Matters movement and get some eyes going on NXT.
I just think people,
dude, he was getting roasted because they felt like he wasn't flexing that movement enough. Like that, like I was like, bro, he was getting people were saying all kinds of shit about Keith Lee because he was too quiet about it. But then at Takeover,
you can never win, man. You can never win.
I know 100%, because I was like, well, he had the Black Lives Matter on the back of his trunks at Takeover.
Yeah,
and that wasn't enough.
I'm just sick of people, man. I really am. They're just looking for something to jump on. They're just looking for something to get a couple likes on Instagram and Facebook. And I'm just sick. I really am sick of people. I'm sick of people on the left side. I'm sick of people on the right side. It's getting really bad, man.
But you know who Baca really loves?
President, bro.
Baca loves retribution.
You do, don't you?
I do.
Is that you?
Hey, so I do love retribution.
Are you serious?
What is there to love?
If it becomes cool, that's different. But as of
You don't think it's
If it
cool?
becomes
putting it in
cool.
this box, putting
You
it in
don't
the
think
box
it's
of what we've
cool?
seen.
You don't think
What's cool about
how
it?
about the cussing on Fox at 9 o'clock at night? They're saying the F word. They're fucking shit up. It's awesome, dude. The problem I have is it's like the kids, right?
I just don't like them.
I was
Like,
gonna say that I feel like
The
they're
only
the
thing is that
neighborhood.
they're kids.
They're
like-
the neighborhood kids that you like when you saw them, you're like, oh,
They
let's go
should have
inside
called
before
me.
they
They
mess
should
with
have
us.
called me. I
I
love Retribution, but I like Raw Underground as well. You know?
Oh my god, no, that honestly goes hand in hand. I believe that you would have you couldn't like one and not like the other.
Yeah,
right?
I love them both, man.
I'm gonna say this though right now. I was not watching wrestling for like 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden Raw Underground and Retribution debuted, and I've
Hey,
been
let's
watching
go.
wrestling again for the last 3 weeks because I want to, or is it because I feel like I'm anticipating something better to come?
This is my thing with Retribution. Is like they came out hot, right? With the whole Molotov thing, it was interesting because even then it was still like the mystery was the intrigue and the mystique was still good.
Stupid, but the mystery was there.
And then
Dude, they're beating up fans.
and then SmackDown comes and then they kind of do. I feel like they just approached it wrong. Like they were like right here already in terms of momentum and just overall talk about them, and then they just went all the way through with all this chainsaw mess and beating up like fans.
They
And then
should
they
have
come
cut
all the way back down here to like freaking just throw a cinder block through like a door, like real low. You don't even throw it through the WWE logo, which would mean something, which would be a way better image.
You have to understand, they're still restricted by WWE and the stuff they could do.
Well, I think the difference is.
I agree with you. They should have hit somebody with a chainsaw. That would have been amazing.
SmackDown recently went to TV 14. You guys know?
Yeah. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I think that's probably why we see such hot and cold. On SmackDown, it seems like they have more freedom to get away with stuff. Like you said,
dude, they were saying the F word. They were saying the F word.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I
mean, it's on Fox too, so that, they do have a little more leeway.
It's not on cable. It's on basic cable, right? That's not basic cable. What do you call it? That's not
network cable.
It's just
network
television.
Cable, yeah.
It's just network television. It's not cable. Because you buy a TV, you get that already. But
if you got channel 11,
really quick, Kwency, I know this has nothing to do with wrestling. I know Brian's gonna be mad. Nas, new album. He has the Forum. First time him, Omega, AZ, Foxy, they all get together on the song.
Are you serious?
I got a hot take. I got a hot take for you.
And hold on, and he says, "Hit boy, I need to smoke with you. I see you always rolling it up. How's that IE weather?"
He said, "How's that what?"
He says, "How's that weather in the IE, in an Empire?" Because Hit boy's from the IE.
Yeah.
Nas talking about the IE, man.
That's 100 degrees out there,
bro.
dude.
Like I've heard people talk about reference West Covina before in different places.
But not Nas. Nas is top 5 in everybody's list.
Not my. That was my revelation.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. You should be excited. You guys should be. And I put this on Facebook and Instagram. I'm so happy for you.
Can I let me clarify before you go
Not
on
my
the Cornette rant? Hold on. Like it's big for us.
It's Nas on his new album with Foxy Brown, Omega. The performance hasn't been together since 1997.
I'm not excited for a new Nas album.
But
I'm always excited for
honestly,
Nas album.
you guys don't deserve the love from Nas.
Full
the fact
discretion.
That Nas went down and talked to you bums in the IE.
Bro.
You guys should be kissing his
bro. Full discretion, and I'm gonna piss a lot of people off. I'm not a Nas fan.
You're nuts.
But I have nothing against him. I have nothing negative to say about it. Growing up, I just couldn't get into it.
I don't care.
But plenty of other New York cats.
I don't care.
I do Big L, Big Pun.
Who's your top 5 favorite MCs then? I don't care if it's not
Dead or Alive?
No, did you tell Dead or Alive? Your top 5 favorites. Because you say you
honestly,
don't like Nas.
Hey, no lie. It's been a while since someone asked me this, so I gotta think. I'll tell you at the end of the episode.
Okay, we'll come back to that, man.
Yeah.
Yo, the disrespect. Nas shows you guys love. John Cena goes to Women and Children's Hospital.
What are you talking
hey,
about?
How you
dude,
doing, kids? Good to see you guys. And his kid says, I'm not a big fan, John. I'm not a
every
big
time
fan.
she goes out, bro. Every time Candice LeRae comes out to Cali, she puts on for the IE. So I don't
That's not Nas. Nas is one of the top 5.
Quincy's saying Candice
one
LeRae
half
is a
of the
bigger deal
world's
than Nas.
cutest tag team.
You're nuts. And honestly, the disrespect, I don't know if this podcast could continue.
All right.
The fact that he comes down and
Snoop Dogg claims Chino all the time.
Yeah, but
real quick.
Say how's the weather in the IE on his
real quick.
I
Quincy,
don't know if I can continue.
Quincy, I have a question for you, Quincy.
Yes.
Does Baca's background look like Firefly Funhouse?
Dude, yeah, who you X'd out back there, bro?
So listen, I was gonna say Quincy, I got you up here, I got you on the picture.
I was gonna say, is that Eddie Guerrero?
But then I realized it was Doc and not you. So
no. See, that means that's Bray Wyatt and I'm the Fiend, so we're different.
I was like, dude,
who's behind you?
I was like, dude, I can't wait to show Quincy this. I'm so excited. But
Who's that wrestling picture right behind you, bro?
That needs to be a clip.
Is that Eddie?
On our Instagram.
You made a picture of Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio.
I can tell that it was Eddie Guerrero from, like, I was like, that looks like Eddie, but I need to know. That's an old school picture of Eddie. That's nice, bro.
So I had good intentions to talk about you being on my wall.
Where am I? I know I'm up there somewhere.
Hopefully I'll be on your wall for different reasons. There you go.
Look at that.
Look at that guy, huh?
I'm
That's
the
before he had
fattest
sex,
guy in
and now
that
look at him.
picture. I'm the fattest guy in that picture doing the knee thing.
Yeah, but now out of all these people, all the people in the picture, you only got having sex now, so that's something, right? That's a win.
Well, speaking about putting it in the hoop, I heard you got a basketball game coming up, Baca. What's going on, dude?
What basketball game? I got a lot of basketball games. I
heard you got a challenge coming up. Isn't it like you and Lego coming up or something like that?
Yeah, but that shouldn't count though. Lego, I love Lego, but Lego legitimately is 45, 47 years old.
He's gonna dunk on you, bro.
Lego ain't gonna do anything. There's a couple things I want to talk about really quick.
You talking about Lego like how they used to talk about Vince Carter, bro. You better watch out.
No, but Lego's my best friend, but he is, and I did the math. We did the math the other day. He is old enough to be my dad. I'm 29. He's about maybe 47. So if he had a kid at 16, and like what happens is like a lot in the hood, he could be my dad. You know, so it's not good.
Are you insinuating Legos from the hood? Are you
really
sure
quick.
you want that information out there like that?
Are you saying you want a DNA test? Or?
Dude, everyone's doing this DNA test shit right now. What's going on?
Well, you spit into a tube and you send it off to get it'll just build robots. Why would you have to send your DNA out to strangers? Right?
White people have identity issues. That's why we go to our DNA and figure out what little countries in Europe we are part of.
Okay, I'm white, but what kind of white? Yeah. Okay, I'm Spanish, but what kind of Spanish?
Right. Hey, I want to talk about what do you guys feeling about, just talking about spreading COVID. AEW having live fans come in, man. Selling tickets. Sounds like a Finny Mac move.
First of all, $30 ain't bad.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not.
Yeah.
And second of all, I absolutely can't defend it. Them having open air shows is weird because I'm like, well, Daly's place is open air. It's like it's outside anyway, so I don't know.
That's what I was thinking too.
I think the only difference is they're. I mean, because I heard they already had fans, like limited fans, but they were.
I saw some of those pictures too.
Yeah, rows and rows, like away from like the talent and stuff like that. So.
But that crowd was pretty tight, though, right? It was away from the.
It was sections of people
sitting
together.
That everybody had been tested and were instructed to wear their face mask the entire show.
Okay,
so that doesn't work out because you can't test somebody and then they come in and then you get to be sourced back 5 days later.
So that's what I was thinking too. And plus, even if you got the results immediately, just because you test positive or negative,
if anything,
they could be going to Baca mansion parties or something.
They probably just did a temperature check, right?
Yeah, that's 100% what it is.
And
then also, have you guys seen the clip of what? Obviously, honestly, one of my top 10 of all time, one of the greatest men on the planet, Vince McMahon, taking that bump at 75 years old.
I just posted it.
Yo. Did you see that, Ryan?
It's funny because you hear the story about how he is the one who walked like Gronk through it. I was like, really?
Yeah.
And then because you see it, and then the fact that it was just nothing to him.
Is this the Gronk thing? I've heard about it, but
it's the Gronk thing. I'll send it to you right now.
Yeah, I'm going to send it to you right now, Brian. It's one of the greatest things ever, man.
It's just really impressive.
Yeah, I know. That's all good. It's all good.
You always hear that whole, Vince McMahon will never ask anyone to do something he's not willing to do himself type thing, and then. Because I've seen pictures of him showing Shawn Michaels how to do the whole zip line entrance at Arrowhead, so that was cool. So like seeing this live though, like 75 years old, 74-year-old man,
75 years old,
he's taking a bump like 10 feet.
Yeah, he's
what's it 10 feet? He's probably like 7 feet, huh?
No, he said at least 10 feet, and the way he did it, he no-sold it. He landed on his back.
No, he told me he was on a crash pad for sure, but like
dude, Gronk saw that spot. And he was like, "No, I'd rather get some CTE in football again. I don't think I can do this wrestling thing."
Yeah, he scared him off because he was like, "Dude, this guy's a crazy old bastard." I don't even.
Listen, I love that man. How anybody can say anything bad about him.
Well, besides the fact that he's helping a child predator.
What does that mean?
Are you talking about Velveteen?
Bro,
that's a major accusation, man. That's your boy.
It's not an accusation. It's an allegation.
Well, it's not. He hasn't. Well, I don't know. Maybe I have some old news, but.
No, all I'm saying is it's weird that, the people who made the initial allegation say that they were never even contacted.
They weren't contacted by the police or by WWE.
I assume the WWE who claimed they had, because a lot of people say that they just investigated but didn't even really do an investigation.
It's one of those things where you investigate yourself, right?
I just saw
Speaking
it.
of that, I have a young Bach 50-page
see,
investigation of myself. I'm gonna let you guys know.
Newsom's like, we looked into the mansion party and we didn't find anything.
Listen, you guys can say whatever you want, but the fact that we're in a pandemic and California is losing Uber and Lyft, and millions of people are going to lose their jobs.
Uber. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, we're losing Uber and Lyft.
Uber and Lyft. They were ready to suspend. They were ready to suspend activity last night at 12 p.m. And the Supreme Court had to step in and say, "Hey, let's look into this stuff like that." Because the state of California, the liberals in California, like Ryan, they want the Uber and Lyft drivers to be treated like full-time employees. And Uber and Lyft is saying we can't afford to do that. They're independent contractors. And so they say, "Okay, well then, you have to do this." So Uber Lyft said, "I'm out of here. Forget that."
I have a law degree, so let me get into this a little bit.
Let's do it.
So the thing is, if you're an independent contractor, you have to provide a service for a company that's not the direct service of the company. So if you were to ask Uber or Lyft, like what is their company, right? It's a car company, right? It's a driving service. So when you bring an independent contractor who's a driver, that is a primary source of the way that company makes their income.
Company operates. Yeah,
Therefore, they can't be independent contractors. They have to be employees.
Do you really have a law degree?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
No, it'd be different if,
honestly, I got two things to say really quick. I don't mean to cut you off. Number one, if I had a law degree, I would never shut up about it. It'd be the number one thing I talk about at every single ball when I'm talking to women. Number two, I understand what you're saying, but I think
Baka just baiting people in conversation. Like, oh, you want to bet?
Yeah, listen, I talk about this podcast all the time.
It's a master's in the studies of law, though, and it's primarily in compliance. It's not to be like a lawyer. It's just
I get what you're saying.
It's to work for companies or government agencies.
So he can smart talk his way out of a ticket when these cops.
All I'm saying is the state of California the state of California. We got some major issues going on right now. That's all.
You might be right.
So we were talking about a little bit before you got up on here, Kwency. We talked about AEW.
They're leaving, so they're like, that's for sure, like an actual reality that we made.
They were ready to leave last night, and then Supreme Court stepped in and said, "Hey, we're gonna figure this stuff out." Blah blah. But
I'm surprised. I'm surprised it lasted this long though, because I was studying this shit like 2 years ago, and they were thinking about like, this is not gonna work here.
Great. So then the drivers don't have a job, right?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, what's the?
And not only that, what about all these guys that get drunk at bars? All these men and women who use Uber and Lyft to not get a DUI.
Well, I mean, not even that. A lot of people that use there's a lot of people I know that don't even own a car. Mm-hmm. They just use Uber to get everywhere.
What about the old lady who goes to get a prescription down the street? She uses Uber and Lyft.
Well, I'm thinking about people that use it to go to and from their job as well. Like it's
another thing though, I'm not supporting it, but like the thing is, like, since these are independent contractors, they're not given some of the same employee rights, and then when certain things happen to them on the job, sometimes they're not taken care of because they're
just saying 100%. But it's a capitalistic country. If what I tell people all the time, hey, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that. If you don't want to do it, totally understand, but this is what we're doing over here at Young Bach Productions. If it doesn't work for you, no sweat, no big deal. You go somewhere else and do it. Unfortunately, we're running Monopoly, so it's working out for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't know if there's any other game in town right now. Because I don't know if anyone else is operating like you are right now.
Being that Venice Beach every Saturday, making things happen, man.
I'm going to email Gavin Newsom and say, like, hey, there's this thing called Young Bach Productions.
You know what's funny?
Listen, I mutter under my breath every day, fucking liberals, at least 5 times a day. And I was going to post on Instagram, but I don't know how people feel about it.
You would be happy to know I was at my local shopping center a couple days ago, and same usual business, 4-way stop just to get back to the green light and get out of the shopping center, right? I just happen to look to my left and I see a couple of these older Asian ladies setting up like this little display. I'm like, what are they doing, right? And I realized it was kind of cute because it was like they were setting up like for like a little protest. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I just rolled down the window like, oh, first one. Oh, that's what's up, man. You guys are in the sun and stuff. You guys got signs? Because you could tell that they've never done this before, but they were like right in the corner, and they had these signs they were putting up, and it was like, vote out Newsom, get Newsom out of here, all these anti-Newsom. And I was like,
I'm glad you said the little Asians, because I'm actually going to say, I saw these white guys. I was like, no.
It was interesting.
That's why I tried to lie.
Like, wow, they feel so strongly. And I was like, You know what? I think they're doing the guerrilla style. I don't think they got permits out here.
I'm
This
letting
is
you
Chino
know.
Hills. They don't play that shit, bro. So you,
I'm letting you
the
know,
homeowners
Baca, right
association
now.
might snitch on you, man.
You're my very good friend, Baca, but if I had to choose between you or Newsom, I'm going with Newsom.
I totally understand. There's a lot of people on that list that feel the same exact way that you feel.
This is the thing. Like, I don't agree with certain things. The mask thing, I don't have a problem with because I got my own personal reasons
100%.
why
Yeah.
I would like the mutual consideration.
Mm-hmm.
I work in customer service. I work at a gas station on the side. Like, I deal with these motherfuckers. Bro.
Have you had any issues with somebody with no mask?
100%, bro.
Have you really? How do you handle that?
I need to put out a podcast just called "The Inconvenience of Convenience." Because
that's a good name.
You
didn't come up with that off the dome, right? You've been thinking about that.
I've been thinking about this. Oh, dude, back when I was doing job security, or I was doing security at Honda Center, I was like, I'm gonna come up with a sitcom called Job Security about security guards. I know the hijinks and everything. I be having pitches, bro. But no, I gotta tell grown men that are older, probably like it's like you telling Lego to put a mask on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, you're supposed to be knowing better than me. Like, not only that, it'd be grown men that already have the mask in their pocket, and I'm like, yo, bro, you can't be in here with a mask. All you got to do is tell me to put it on. No, I don't have to tell you to put it on. It tells you
before you walk in.
Put it on before you walk. And dude, there's signs.
That's an easy fix.
Bro, we got signs and everything.
Ryan's down there in Anaheim, so I don't think he enjoys wearing this.
Oh, I know. I'm sure it's worse out there.
Yeah, in Anaheim, they don't want you to wear a mask. They'll offend if you wear a mask.
Let me throw some.
I heard the beaches are not even like beaches are popping. I heard DTF it almost look like it's like same old shit. Like
so far in North Orange County, I think we kind of respect the mask thing. It's like when you get into these elite neighborhoods in South Orange 100%. County,
because no one's gonna tell me.
When someone knows someone who knows someone,
you can't tell me what to do. This is my
park.
Bro, you guys want to hear some? This is crazy. I have a regular. I already got some beef with this guy because this is someone that I've talked to quite a few times, and he's been cool. One of my regulars. I had another coworker that used to work with me. Shout out to Mamoon. He's gonna be an aero.
What's his name?
Rocket scientist. He's gonna be a rocket scientist for real.
That's awesome.
But it's crazy.
What's his name? Mamoon.
Mamoon, and I'm like, and
that's
his
a great name.
check this. His Instagram name is Man on the Moon though.
That's
amazing. And he's a rocket scientist.
That's amazing.
I was like, that was awesome. But
I'm gonna write this down because I'm gonna follow this guy, man.
Like he little homie, man. Like we like the only other person of color that worked with me there, right? So, and then we would get in these conversations with this guy. You can tell he's ex-military, rocking the 9-line shirts all the time, which is fine. I ain't got a problem with
Taker wears those t-shirts.
Yeah. But because people who rock those, already.
Oh,
the kind of you got to be open to certain, difference of opinion. But it was never that bad. You know what I mean? But he would get some information. I could tell we learned from each other. You know what I mean? But always constructive, respective, and then always good conversation. Because it would always end with, "Hey, what you doing this weekend?" "All right, cool, man. See you next time." I see him like 3 to 4 times a day getting his cigarettes, right? The other day he pops in and it's like me and only one of the customer, and she happens to be a person of color. And I notice he just pops in and he always gets cigarettes, but he like jumps down this dude leaps down the candy aisle. And I'm like, that was kind of weird. What was that about? And then when he doesn't right away, like pop out on the other side, I'm like, what's this fool doing over there? And then so I don't understand what's going on just yet. And then the customer service is done with the young woman. I bid her farewell. She's on her way, and then he pops up with a black shirt that says "All Lives Matter" on it.
Jeez, man.
And I'm looking at him, and he's looking at me. And I'm like,
"What the hell, dude?"
Yeah,
so he had in his pocket. He saw a black woman, so he put it on.
just in case I see a black person today.
Dude, but you understand that, right?
You gotta move, man. You gotta. If this is stuff you deal with, you gotta move. No,
bro, no. But this is my thing.
Come down to LA, man.
Why be a bitch about it? Why is he being a bitch about it? Like you made sure that you took money out of your pocket.
Oh, so he was. I'm sorry, I misheard you. He went down to candy aisle because he didn't want this woman to see him.
That's what I surmised.
Oh, okay,
it's just us two, sense. And then he's the third guy that walks in, and then it's not.
He didn't want the smoke.
He didn't want the smoke, but he knew.
You gotta move.
But that's my thing. It's like if you made an effort to buy that shirt, you got it sent to you. You put it on, knowing you're gonna wear it outside. What that comes with that's the message you're sending.
Like, unless it was his laundry day, and he's like, "Man, I guess I have to wear my All Lives Matter shirt."
Bro, like the dude is white, but he was a ghost when I had to ring him up. Because mind you, I had my face mask on, so it's just all ice grill, just staring at this fool like, for reals?
Yeah.
Like, bro,
Something
like,
cool,
and in
man.
my job, I've seen this guy for like 2 years.
You gotta move, Quincy. You gotta move, man. Why do you stay in
can't.
places like that?
But you know what's crazy than that is this same guy refuses to wear a mask. And I've known
Yeah.
what his views on the mask was before Newsom went and made it like a whole mandate. So when we put the signs up, I really didn't expect him to even, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not going to be the one to tell him, but someone else can, right?
Yeah.
Which never happens.
That's
But-
tough when it's on
But
you
check
to
this though.
enforce
He
it.
rolls up into the store now. He picks up his phone. And he has already an open document prepared from his lawyer about how he's going to sue for discrimination if we refuse service.
Hey, you should get sued. You should tell him.
But bro, like, can you like, do you understand like the amount of effort you have to put into that as opposed to just putting a
one
mask
stupid
on
mask.
Put the mask on.
for the
It's
2
for-
seconds you're in there?
Yeah, it's like 3 minutes you're in there, right?
Bro,
Like-
because
He
again,
gets-
all he
hold on.
does is get 2 packs of cigarettes.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. He doesn't never get nothing more, nothing less. It's the same thing. He ain't
Unless
never in
unless
there.
there's a black woman there, then he gets
Oh
some
yeah, that's
candy
true. Yeah,
canes,
yeah.
you know?
He'll contemplate some candy for whatever manufacturing reason. But yeah.
Speaking of masks, Dominic, it's been announced that he's going to be
Yes.
he's going to be
Oh,
Quincy
we're gonna get into
Mysterio.
wrestling now. What the?
Young
You saw that
Prince.
transition? You saw that transition? Quincy Mysterio, I love it. Brian says that's awful. What do you think, Quincy?
Prince Mysterio, I'm not against it, but I think what's weird about it is he's a prince, but he's like significantly bigger and taller than his dad.
Yeah, but he's still the
but
prince.
then you know
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker and Yoda, you know.
Yeah.
I was telling Bucket, like, I don't mind if they adopted this later down the line, but like at
No, I
least let
think
the
it's- I think
Dominic
it
thing
is
go
later.
a little bit.
Yeah, because from what I heard, Dominic already has a mask and a costume,
Yeah.
but he was the one that was like, "No, I don't want to debut it for SummerSlam." Like, I don't.
I think he's going to get his ass beat at SummerSlam, and he's going to come back as Quincy Mysterio.
That's what well, you know, they have Payback 1 week after, so I was like, he's gonna lose.
Do
his
they
stuff.
really? Why do you do payback? Why do you need to do payback? What's the
Because
point?
they
You
got-
can't. But you can't sell tickets. What's the point?
You know why? It's because I'm pretty sure with this
Well, the
Amway,
advertisers, right? Sponsorships.
I was gonna say I'm sure with the Amway deal that they just signed with the whole Thunderdome, they probably have like a per event
Yeah.
agreed.
Mm.
Like, you know what I mean? Where the,
My
like,
original thoughts were when I heard rumors that they were flirting with New Zealand.
I
thought
did hear
that
about it, yeah.
I thought they were going to try to get 2 pay-per-views with a crowd right away, so people could get more bought into
That
the
would be
idea,
awesome.
and then come back to the Performance Center.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So-
I think it's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome. You
But
guys
now
seen
that
the
that
images?
didn't happen, but
You guys
I
seen the
saw
images? What do you think?
I did see the images. It reminds me of the like how NBA's doing it with the virtual fan stuff.
Yeah, but I
I'm-
hate that with the NBA though. The NBA doesn't need it because they
I'm
have
more-
20 coaches on each side and they have 10 more players. And if you live in the bubble, you can come to games too. You
That's
don't need to
true.
put your fans. There's
I
probably
mean,
70 people
honestly,
in the arena.
It's been kind of fun watching that empty arena. Like,
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
because it does remind me of like, you know, because they were even saying when I was watching a Laker game, like a lot of these guys on their come up, they played in empty arenas with just
Yeah.
their families support. And I'm like, you know what? It reminded me of like going
Especially
to like
on the
those
Clippers, you know,
tournaments.
early 2000s, nobody's in the arena with you, stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel you.
So.
But
sure.
I don't know. Like it's with what they're doing. I'm more interested because I heard about the LED boards and all that stuff with the
Yeah.
fans. But they said they're going to be doing a whole bunch of other interactive stuff. So that's
cool.
one of the things I'm kind of like interested in. You know what I mean?
You didn't get the invite from WWE to be part of the test.
I did, but I just
Been
didn't
so busy.
want to do it.
You're dealing with the guy at the gas station, you know, it's tough.
well, you got to also
You know,
watch
be like,
wrestling for the whole
me-
2 hours right when it's live.
Yeah.
Who wants to do that?
And you also have to sign waivers that you're going to act accordingly. You can't just come out and somebody said, what happens when you know, some guy moons the camera or some guy tosses out his junk, you know?
That's
Well,
funny.
these are all taped, right? So they're probably just
Yeah, and they said in 2 seconds they get rid of somebody, but they make you sign legal documents saying that you're going to act accordingly or you'll be fined.
So I can't like flip off the camera. or
Yeah,
anything, so.
and you can't wear AEW t-shirts. You heard about that? They'll
that's
flick
whack,
you off.
dude.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, it's one thing if you're just gonna do it to troll, but if you happen just to wear like, you know what I mean, whatever, like, dude, I don't know, it's just weird.
They don't want people to wear t-shirts with trademark logos unless it's WWE or one of the sponsors.
What about? I guess the difference is because they're a public company now. Because back then, when they were doing the Monday Night Wars and shit, there was people rocking WCW shirts.
Well, what
all
you could
day.
say is that to a public company, they shouldn't be able to tell you that anymore. You could say when
Well,
they're privately
that's true.
owned, they can tell you can't do this, you can't do
Yeah,
this.
you're right.
But
Do you
now if you're
think-
public, you probably shouldn't be able
Do
to
you
say
think
no.
it's more of like the t-shirt thing is more of a arena policy when people are there live, and then on TV it's probably just more of a headache to get rid of them? But now
You know
that
what?
it's being
I think it's your
filmed,
company, you can do whatever you want.
I do think now it's more of a WWE thing than an
Yeah.
Amway thing.
Oh,
And
100%.
so
Because
Yeah.
what they're saying is easy for them to get rid of somebody. So us three are watching SmackDown Live. You say something inappropriate, they kick you out, and the next guy waiting in line jumps up.
this
Same
is
thing
set
with
up for a
they
AEW.
year,
allowing
I
the
believe.
microphones to be open?
No, not microphones to be open. I'm saying if you do something, you flip off the camera, you do something
Okay.
like that, you show up with a John Moxley T-shirt, they could get rid of you quickly, and the next guy waiting in the virtual waiting room could come up. You know, I think it'd be cool to be on camera like that. I think that'd be awesome.
I
What a
mean,
wonderful opportunity.
I don't know. It's like, is it really special? You know, are you going to be able to really see yourself? I mean, I saw the screenshots. Like, I mean, there's just it looks like Minority Report a little bit with a bunch of
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
That's funny.
So I
It
mean, it's
looks like they're literally wrestling in the SmackDown intro package that they do.
dude. No,
They
I was
jump
gonna say
into
it's almost like they're like just at a sound stage, like just surrounded by
Mhm.
green screen, and they're just like in this virtual.
Well, let's do this. Let's do something that no wrestling fans do in 2020. Let's give it a chance to see how it goes. Let's do
Oh,
that.
yeah,
I know
yeah.
that's crazy. I know that's
Oh.
crazy.
No.
Let's give
I'm
it a
not against.
chance. Let's give it a chance.
When
Out
I
of-
heard the announcement of it, and I saw that the mayor, or not the mayor, the governor,
Yeah.
you know, was talking about the deal with them and Amway, I was very interested in it, especially with the way that, you know, Kevin Dunn, who, I mean, dude, Kevin Dunn's been the producer for how long now? Like the last,
Forever, yeah.
since forever. So the fact that he was so excited to rattle off about it, I'm like, what the hell got you so excited? Because
Yeah.
there's still shit that you
They
do.
say everybody in the locker room super hyped up.
I heard a lot of them are more hyped about the fact that they're moving to the Amway Center because it's way more room for everyone to feel more spaced out and not have to feel like there's, you know, because, you know, the numbers were going up again on the cases for WWE. So I'm sure that they want a little bit more personal space, make it seem like they could kind of, you know, slow down the spread if anything. But I'm sure they're getting a lot of peace of mind. I know guys like AJ Styles is probably hyped to wrestle for something like that. He's a video game nut, so this is probably some shit up his alley.
Two things though, too. Like I think they've rented out the Amway Center for until like almost WrestleMania season next year, or something like that.
I heard it was for 3 months.
It might be 3 months, or maybe there's an extension at the end of it or something. But I heard like up until way into 2021, they're gonna have this, because I don't think they have any, like, unless like the Magic play again the next basketball season.
Yeah,
There's no residents or nothing renting out the Amway Center, so the
'cause the
WWE have
playoffs
it
are
to
now.
themselves.
So it's like, they're not going to play so soon right after.
If they can start letting fans in, they could transition maybe part video, part real fans eventually. I believe this is a pretty cool deal. I think like the only thing is like we'll see if like the thing about wrestling in general, I don't think it's the Amway Center or the Performance Center. I was missing the natural pop that wrestlers would get.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're necessarily going to get that in this format either.
Well, I mean, it sounds like they're going to do a little bit of what they've been doing now, which is like mixing in the live. You know, they'll strip down like live audio from it, because that's the thing I've noticed on the NXT is it sounds like there's way more people in the crowd than you could tell that are there,
Right?
and that kind of bothers me sometimes because I'm like, okay, it's not that many people in there, but I do, dude. I was watching All Out last night. They had the replay on AEW on Wednesday.
Just
I was
enjoying
there.
a Wednesday night.
Say it again.
Just enjoying a Wednesday night.
Well, I mean, Dynamite didn't. I mean, that's what Dynamite did because they had the NBA on TNT. So they, since they're going to be showing on Saturday instead, they were like, hey, All Out.
Well, it's a Dynamite so big it had to be on Saturday.
Or moved. It had to be. It was so big they had to move.
That's not what they're saying.
That's how you market it, baby. But yeah, I don't know. It's like one of those things where with Dynamite, I mean, a lot of these guys can use that live crowd. So that's why I'm not against with the news about them trying to let in like 10-15% of crowd capacity. I think with Tony, he's going to be obviously smart about it. That's the one thing that they've had an advantage over. Is
why do you give him that? Why do you
credit?
assume? Yeah, why do you give him the credit?
I was going to say because of the fact that they already have the advantage.
Because his dad has money.
They already have the advantage of seeing how WWE. They have the huge advantage of the biggest powerhouse of wrestling ever making the hugest rookie mistake and how to handle a pandemic. And they're, I mean, like they said, sloppy shop. I'm not trying to like bring it back, but they already know what not to do. And it seems like, you know, yeah, it sounds pretty pretty solid. Me saying, yeah, by me watching BTE every week, it seems that I have a firm finger on the pulse of how they like to test things. But they say every week what the testing they go through, which is way more than I've heard than as far as what they have the WWE talent going through on a weekly basis. I just think that I give Tony the credit because I don't think when it comes to terms of public safety and talent safety, he can allow any margin for error. You know what I mean?
I think it's a more of a risk that he's taking because if you think about
100%.
the WWE's
We got 1
doing the
minute
virtual
left.
thing, so like even though the WWE's made mistakes, it looks like they've learned a little bit from those mistakes slightly, whereas AEW is taking some risks right now.
I mean, all I'm saying is there
Chris
has
Jericho probably has COVID.
zero reported cases for AEW. Only a few scares and quarantines, but there's been actual like numbers, like 24. They say 25 cases last time in WWE.
Before we get out of here, man, I know we don't have much time left. I heard about the Sonya Deville incident. That guy breaking in, trying to kidnap her.
I was gonna bring that up for Brian. Yeah.
So I'm happy that you're here, Brian. I didn't know what the situation was. Not rest in peace, but goodbye to Renee Young. She's no longer going to be with the company after Sunday. Everyone's saying it's a big loss. I don't think it's a big deal, but what do I know?
I think it's a huge loss.
It's not a huge loss.
Well, because she did a lot. I mean, just
she was the face
woman
of the pre-show and all that.
Oh no! You didn't tell me that. No, we're gonna lose the face of the pre-show with Jerry Lawler and Booker T. I don't know if I ever watch wrestling again. I don't know if I ever watch wrestling again. You said it's a big deal because he's the face of the pre-show.
Hold on. So you saying that you want to hear the Chucky Ducky quack quack on your pre-shows?
Why people think that's such a big deal? Seriously.
Well, she's been on TV more than any other wrestler.
I put like
in the last people that live in a mother's basement that never seen a woman before.
Let me
the way they talk about losing Renee Young is like that we lost Roman Reigns. They're saying I don't know how the company can do this. And then for you to say it's a huge loss because she was the face of the pre pay-per-view show.
No, that's obviously sarcasm. But check this out.
Crazy.
And you cannot argue with this. A key point of what Renee's work actually helped influence on the show, talking smack. You can say what you want. You can say what you want.
I agree.
But
some of the best
talking smack,
ever.
You would have never got Jinder Mahal as world champion. You would have never got Miz with that great promo.
100%.
You would have never got Daniel Bryan with that great promo. You would have never gotten AJ Styles talking his shit against Shane McMahon. There's a lot of moments that she actually.
I agree. That was great. And what time does Talking Smack come on? What time does Talking Smack
ring announcer Mauro Ranallo being in WWE too? So
what time does Talking Smack come on?
It's gonna come back.
Don't play it no more.
Let me.
So it's not a huge loss.
It is a huge loss because the only reason why they took it off is to save money.
I hear what you're saying, but you can't say it's a big loss.
But everything you
said
everything that she did that actually did great, they pulled the plug on.
Let me put this in perspective for you. Let me put this in perspective for you. She obviously it's a little sarcasm, but yeah, she was the face of the pre-show, which they spend 2 hours or so every WrestleMania doing.
Very true.
She was on Talking Smack. She was on the Raw, the A Show commentary team for at least almost 6 months to a year. It doesn't matter if it's bad.
Better than
hold on. Let me finish.
How bad was that? She was awful.
Hey, Baka,
way better than Beth
Phoenix.
I'm gonna start calling you Jeff. I'm gonna start calling you Jeff.
Phoenix ain't good either.
Hey, let me finish. It doesn't matter how bad it was. She was still on the A Show commentary team.
She was not bad.
Okay.
She was awful.
And then even though it wasn't successful, she was the head host of the Fox show that
backstage.
That wasn't good.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
that everything you just named was awful.
Hold on. Why those situations failed were not on her. They were on the WWE. But she was the A person every time they needed to start a new project. They asked Renee Young to do it because she was a talented person. And if she goes somewhere else, that's their loss.
The reason that these marks, and I'm not talking about you guys because you guys are great. But the reason that everybody online is talking about it because she's a beautiful woman, and I was like, how could you lose her? But everything you just named, it doesn't exist anymore. So obviously, it's not that big of a loss. Is all I'm saying.
So if Roman Reigns is gone, he's like, oh man,
Roman Reigns. If we lost Roman Reigns to AEW, that'd be a big loss.
But Reigns hasn't been on team for 6 months.
And people could say that's why the ratings are declining. That's
Because
a
Roman
big
Reigns is not
loss.
on TV. No, it's because there's
Are
no
we
fans
putting?
in the building.
Are we putting? Okay, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm not Roman
It's
Reigns'
killing
biggest fan, but are you telling me that Roman Reigns and Renee Young on the same page?
You say Mae Young?
Are on the
Mae
same
Young's
page?
different story.
No. But
Okay,
but
that's
to
all I'm
say it's not a
saying.
huge.
Everybody can't
What do
be a
you?
huge
First
loss.
of all, there's already 2 degrees of
Dawkins,
separation right there because you got the big dog and then you got Dean Ambrose and but who's married to that guy?
all I'm saying is everybody that WWE loses can't be a big loss. The way that everybody spins
But we didn't say that at all.
Yeah,
We
but
didn't
that's
say that at all.
We're saying that if keep in mind, I think she's more of a
love
needle
Zack Ryder,
pusher.
but
She's
Zack
more of a
Ryder
needle
losing
pusher
is
than
crazy.
Heath Slater, and the WWE will be lucky if she goes to ESPN and not AEW.
You're
Well,
crazy.
like
You think she's a needle pusher?
This is yeah, dude.
You
Like,
guys don't know what
like
you're
this is why. This is why, because what you just said. She's a beautiful woman. So guys in our demo see her on TV. We want to see what she's talking about. Why? Because she actually does it in a way that we actually like, and it's not just her playing wrestling fan. She's an actual wrestling fan. But all I'll say is this: do I agree that certain groups of the IWC are a little overreacting on it? Yes. But how I feel is I'm not on that, it's a loss, how could they? Because she's the one who made the decision. She's the one who asked for her release.
Right.
So she obviously has, her own dreams and ventures and endeavors that she wants to do outside of wrestling, which is, I celebrate that part of it because, she's sitting at home not doing nothing when you think about it, dude. Like, what's the last thing she's done?
Her husband's working for
Sit
another
home and get
company.
those checks.
I said, what's the last thing she's done? He says, her husband, and then goes on with the question.
No,
So
I was going to say, her husband works for another
Between
company.
that and the stuff you're saying about Magic Son, I don't know if we can hear this episode.
Sneaky cheeky.
Everyone's going to look, if people actually watch the show, they would see that you're the one who said it. So,
what did you say? You said that
you said that you told me that you think that Magic Johnson's son's a disappointment.
No, I didn't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. That's
you
bad.
Said that.
Don't say that. Don't
I
say
think
that.
he's a
Don't
great
say
guy.
I said that's bad.
I think I'm a huge Magic
If I could
Johnson
defend
fan.
myself.
Telling him not to say it, but you're not.
Yeah, no, but the way you said it was different. The way you said it, I never said disappointment.
All right.
Might be like in his darkest hour, gun to his head. Maybe he's a little disappointed.
Darkest hour, gun to the head.
So let me finish. The thing is, you guys don't let me finish, and then I don't finish my thought. I just sound like an ass.
Go ahead, man.
All right. Her husband works for another company, and every project the WWE starts with her, they always end. So she could be disappointed. If the WWE cared about her, she would be sticking around. But the thing is, it doesn't matter if you're watching wrestling and John Cena's been on it, Roman Reigns has been on it. Renee Young has been constant on WWE television for almost, I feel like, a decade at this point. And if she were to step to AEW and people start watching AEW, everyone's gonna be like, that was the Raw interview person, that was the SmackDown interview person that I remember. And because some people, when they have a tough time choosing which one they want to watch, some people like a familiar show, and that's why AEW does bring in a lot of WWE acts, because they're trying to create a familiar brand to what maybe they were watching before.
No,
just because somebody's a constant doesn't mean it's a good thing. Hitler was a constant in Germany for a long time. Doesn't mean it was great.
You're saying Renee Young and Hitler are the same kind of person.
Oh, but obviously she's not Hitler, but just a couple levels off.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I don't even know how to respond to that.
What? I said she's not Hitler. No, but I get, all jokes aside, I get frustrated because everybody's such a big loss. Well, how could they lose? How could they lose Zack Ryder? I love Zack Ryder. I listen to Zack Ryder's podcast about fucking wrestling figures every week, and I love it. But he's not a big loss for the company. Everybody can be a big loss.
See, but that's the thing. It's like WWE's perspective, or the perspective that WWE has highlighted, is that he's not a big draw. But
everybody can't be a big draw.
This is up for interpretation. I'm not saying I'm writing this because I want to ask you guys this because, I was talking to someone about, the Kurt Hawkins and the Zack Ryders of WWE and how they're, obviously on greener pastures, or in their mind, whatever the decisions they decided to make with their features now. But, they were just like, why would Zack Ryder go anywhere else? Like, he's never going to be anything. But I'm like, well, it's not that he's never going to be anything. They didn't really allow him to do anything. I mean, whenever he did, like,
the guy won the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania.
No.
But listen
to what I'm saying. Like this guy, they always talk about trying to get guys and new superstars and create new faces and all this, right? I'm not saying that that's Zack Ryder, but you got to give it up to a guy who was in obscurity, who took it upon himself, got himself over. And it's like, it's crazy when you look at the fact that he got pretty much punished for getting himself over.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, the
I agree
fact that
100%.
they would go to Long Island and a crowd would chant, "We want Ryder," as loud as CM Punk or "We want Cena." It's like, it's insane that they wouldn't try at least to pull the trigger on. I mean, they pulled the trigger with a guy like Miz, and like while Miz
And
has
it's paid off.
the Miz has my respect now, 100%. But back then, it's
I'm not
kind of
gonna talk
insane
bad
when you
about
think
Miz.
about it.
Well,
It's insane.
let me ask you this: if Zack Ryder never did that for himself,
Mhm.
he still probably would never got that Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania.
No,
He probably would have never won the U.S. title.
I'm not arguing with you. For somebody to say, hey, you know what? You're not utilizing me over here. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to bet on myself.
And that's my overall argument.
I love that. I respect it. That's why I come
there
from.
Could be. I mean, we could see a breakthrough. I mean,
But don't be like,
look,
how could a company let this guy? That's why I have an issue with it.
I understand.
Everybody can't be a big loss. Everybody can't get
No, I don't.
Everybody can't. You know.
I'm more on the fence of I'm excited to see what I didn't get to see from this person because of the parameters set, invisible or not, behind the fourth wall. I want to see what this guy could do. A lot of people they leave WWE, they say a lot. So when they are in secure positions where they don't have to feel the same way that they did and they don't have complaints, all right, I better see some performance. I better see some follow through. You know what I mean? But when they don't follow through and they're just pretty much the same act or like an extension of what they did in WWE, then it's like, all right, no, I mean, you know what I mean? But yeah,
there's
some
nothing
guys,
wrong with betting yourself, man.
Like Heath Slater, great personality. I don't see him being a world champion, but that guy can talk.
No,
you know what I mean?
You're not going to get on my podcast, all podcasts, and talk bad about Heath Slater.
What did I say?
Him going to Impact was the
it's
move.
great. Yeah,
the Good Brothers
and that's my
Impact
next point. It's because a company like that knows how to do something with a personality like him. All they really did with Heath is, the I Got Kids thing got like, look how long Heath was there, and he got that over right at the end. You know what I mean? It's pretty, and that's why guys like Rusev, I felt like mishandled. Not everyone was mishandled.
Yeah.
Some guys, they only saw certain things with them in their future, but a guy like Zack Ryder, just to take it back to that, it's like I feel like they're the ones who chose his ceiling for him as opposed to him showing them what his ceiling could be.
Yeah.
And I think that's what initially hurt him because he was selling merch like crazy too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love Zack Ryder, man. I listen to podcasts all the time.
I'm pretty sure he's another reason why they were selling figs like crazy too.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
I'll say this about Renee Young. Obviously, I do believe that WWE is going to move on, and it's not going to be a big deal. I'll be honest with you on that level.
I don't think so either.
But
so she's not a big loss.
Hold on. Let me.
Well,
put
they're
going to
say face because it wasn't their decision to get rid of her to begin with.
But let me put this also in
nobody
perspective for you. Is who's now that person? Like she kind of had that utility role in the company where she could step in and host a show, be on commentary, talk to is that Charlie Caruso now? Because she's also she does PTI on the side.
I think Charlie Caruso could do.
I think
she
Charlie
does PTI.
She does. She has one foot out on the door. She is.
Yeah, I was gonna say
she does PTI.
She's the substitute on PTI. Not PTI.
Part of interruption.
No. My bad.
Okay.
First take.
I didn't. Oh yeah, she's the narrator. Yeah,
she's the.
I think she's great. I think she's great. I think she's. I think anything that Renee Young could do, she could do. And when it comes to commentary, nobody does it better than my boy Samoa Joe.
So I'm
Samoa Joe, yeah.
I'm just saying.
I don't know why Samoa Joe doesn't wrestle. He should be a wrestler. He should. I wish somebody would tell Samoa Joe, dude, you should wrestle.
Hey Joe, send some tapes to Baca.
Well, he ain't doing nothing now, right? He ain't wrestling now.
I'm just saying. I do think it's like yeah, you're not losing your star person like Roman Reigns, but you are losing a role player in Renee Young. She did fill a void in certain roles.
I mean, I think
I feel you because that's like if they lost Dolph Ziggler, right? I mean, for other people, like, oh well, they didn't really do it. Really,
yeah, but like if we lost Dolph, you have to say that's a huge loss.
Would you? Because look how they treat him.
No, I agree. He should, and that whole storyline he had against the Miz with the Intercontinental Championship. I love Dolph Ziggler, man. But the way they talk,
I'm talking like as far like what in the same argument as Brian.
But you can't say it's
someone
a huge loss.
That's what I'm saying though, because some people wouldn't say he's a huge loss because he's just been a utility guy for them. We need someone for Kofi to go. We need someone for Drew to go.
That's all I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
Everybody can't be a huge loss, but I gotta go. I got things I gotta do.
I'm just saying that Dolph Ziggler is the male Renee Young.
No, don't disrespect.
I agree.
Dolph like that
because
you guys are nuts, man. Just because they both have blonde hair.
But
No.
talented, but never gets the world title. Come on, man.
Because
That's
like one of those
that
things,
talent's
like
life,
if Dolph Ziggler leaves, who's the guy that's gonna put all your upper mid card guys over? Like,
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Did you see the way
Corbin,
who's
Sean?
gonna be on Raw Underground?
Yes.
I
this
guess
guy,
Chad Gable. I
wrestler
guess
from
Chad Gable
Kansas
would
State.
have to be the guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Poor
I
Chad.
love doing this podcast with you guys, man. I don't tell you guys enough. I love you guys. I really do appreciate you. Quincy, I owe you an apology because I didn't have your picture up here on my wall of fame. But I'm gonna change that.
That needs to be a clip on IG when you're like, hey,
Samoa Joe, send Baka an 8x10 to put on the wall.
I love Samoa Joe, man. I love Samoa Joe, but that's a guy I feel like is being wasted. He's great on commentary, but he's one of the best wrestlers ever, man.
He keeps getting hurt, and I don't know if that's on him.
So they don't want to invest. I understand that.
I don't see, and that's hard.
If I have a girlfriend that keeps cheating on me, eventually I'm gonna be like, forget it,
But you want to hear the irony of that? Did you guys see that video not too long ago of Tyson Kidd actually?
No, is he looking good?
He was training in the ring.
Wow.
And I don't know if it's like one of those things where it's like, so Samoa Joe comes in and then injures Tyson Kidd. And
Tyson I'd imagine that
down here, and then all of a sudden Samoa Joe's getting injured left and right, and then we start seeing videos emerge of Tyson Kidd.
If I saw Tyson Kidd in NXT.
Dude, he was great in NXT.
I would love that.
Well, that fatal 4-way, which was, I believe, Sami Zayn,
Neville,
Tyson Kidd, Neville, and
Tyler Breeze.
And Tyler Breeze is one of my favorite NXT fatal 4-ways of all time.
You want to talk about
first time they let him have a pay-per-view, right? Was that fatal 4-way one?
You want to talk about wasted potential and not using people the right way? Dude, the Fashion Pilots was the greatest thing that WWE's done in the last 20 years. And they just said, "Hey, get out here." It was.
I bought a shirt. I bought a shirt because I love that so much.
I love it.
You said the Fashion Police?
Yeah, Fashion Police.
Dude, I got the notepad, the ticket pad to write tickets.
Oh, do you really?
Dude, yeah, I brought it with me to Starcast, and I was like just writing them, giving them to people.
That's awesome.
It's like, oh man, you got a WWE shirt on, dude. Nah, fuck that.
Like, I do believe like the main roster could use someone like that. On the main roster, and to be honest, like, it's been a couple years. Recycle that shit. I don't care.
Well, dude, like my brother was saying, like, on NXT they had it a couple of weeks ago, like Legado del Fantasma. They caught him on the outside of the building, and then they like kind of low key kidnapped Fandango.
Mm-hmm.
They threw him in the trunk of their car, only to beat him up later in the episode. But he was like, dude, they should have just rolled with that. They should have just had him kidnapped, and then have Breeze have to like, oh shit, it's the return of the Fashion Police. I got to figure out who kidnapped Dango. Like, and I'm like, oh man, that would.
I would really like if Drake Maverick was part of their act too.
That would be great. That would be
great.
Hey,
can we talk about really quick before we go? Dude, black wrestlers in WWE, man, was stepping up, dude. It's awesome, man. Keith Lee, the Street Profits, MVP's doing his thing as a black guy hangs out at the barbershop. Sorry, Vine, I know you don't like stuff. Dude, Bobby Lashley, I love it, man.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton, you know what I mean? The light skin's putting on. No, like, it's funny because I was watching Raw, and because there's a thought I've never really broke to you guys. I've always joked about it with my brother, but I always like say, like, one of these days, dude, we're gonna go to a live show, and we're gonna meet like a hella racist ass like wrestling fan, but it's like weird because we're so connected by what we both love. But he's like, but no, I ain't cheering for no Kofi Kingston. Like, I'm like, so I'm like,
do you think that? Okay, do you think that happens?
But
like,
what about Big E?
See, but I think about that, so that's why I was saying, like, I was watching Raw, I'm like, man, there must be some wrestling fans that are pissed off because when you think about it, who have been, no
there might be some wrestling legends that hate it.
But like, no pun intended. Who've been the MVPs of Raw the last couple of months? It's been the Hurt Business. It's been Cedric Alexander, the Ricochets.
It's awesome, dude.
Yeah, the Keith Lees, the New Days. So I'm like,
low key. One of my favorite wrestlers in the 2000s was Shelton Benjamin, and I'm so happy he's actually got somewhat of
I just want to see him away from that 24/7.
You also have black
give
friends,
him something.
right?
Huh?
Give him something.
You also have black friends too, right?
I have plenty.
I just want to say one of my favorite wrestlers is Shelton Benjamin. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying. No, I'm just excited. I'm just happy.
I was say one of my favorite basketball players is LeBron James.
Yeah,
I'm happy that he's on TV. He's I would say somewhat of a half-ass main event role. Like, and even though he's the one who's always taking the pins in the Hurt Business, I don't care. Like, I'm just happy he's on TV and he's got.
Who would you add to the Hurt Business?
What was that?
Who would you add to the Hurt? Let's ask this last question right here.
I already got my answer. Young Baka and the Hurt Business, we'd be doing
Woo!
damn, man.
Hey,
It'd
but
be
no,
great.
it would implode because you and MVP would be fighting over the mic all the time.
Yeah, just to get two alpha males together,
Like,
doesn't work out. All the time.
that's usually what happens. You know what I mean? You got two leaders. You can't.
Who would you add, Kwency?
I wouldn't mind if like Apollo ended up like relenting and like bringing the U.S. title with them.
Yeah, let's just get all the black guys together. I'm down with that. I'm down with that. That'd be great.
I also wouldn't be mad at Dio Madden, aka Brendan Williams. He's this dude has height on him. He has a different fight, like several fight. I think he does like Muay Thai and stuff like that. And the only reason I was thinking of him, I'm like, oh, that's your 2020 Kama Mustafa right there. With all these.
So I just googled Brendan Williams right now because I never heard him before. I can't see it. Black guy. So is your question?
Yeah, he doesn't look like that anymore though. He doesn't look like that anymore.
Which black guy would you add to the hook?
Well, it has to be a black guy. I mean, unless
I was gonna say, who's your own heart? Who's your own heart?
My own heart is Chad Gable because he'd be perfect because then you could team him with Shelton Benjamin. Again,
who's your Owen Hart?
Yeah, Chad Gable would be my own heart unless it's Kevin Owens.
So funny.
So we have to give a legit answer and one Owen Hart.
Exactly, one Owen Hart and one legit answer. You're up, Ryan. I need time to think.
I'm looking at the roster right now. You guys go first.
So yeah, I pick Apollo or Dio Madden, I guess. But no, I'm telling you, if we get Chad Gable back and have him team up with Shelton, I mean that's pretty easy riding right there.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say because they need to start going for other divisions too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have Shelty B and Shorty G back together.
So I feel like it has to be a Raw act, right?
I suppose. I mean, because someone like Big E would be great, but
that's what I was saying. Like, what if there was a New Day versus Hurt Business?
That'd be great, man.
That's actually a great program.
All right.
Always Survivor Series coming up.
Survivor Series, yeah.
Yeah, we got to see the timetable on Woods. That'd be kind of good.
What about? All right, I got mine, but it's not a Raw person, so this one might ruffle some feathers. I think Swerve Scott would be really dope.
That would be good.
Isaiah Scott. And then as my Owen Hart, Shane McMahon.
No. I could just see Shane. Like he's gonna bring back the old the can go backwards and just go.
Yeah.
What's up, brothers?
It's all about the nation of domination, the Hurt Business, brother.
So I
can see him and MVP going at it because I could see like Shane hitting like one too many brothers around him. It's like with me and my brothers right here, and me the new Mean Street Posse.
I love the Mean Street Posse. All right, my answer really quick, man. For a legitimate answer, I would say Ricochet because he needs that push, and he's also black.
You think he could do it?
Let me explain this out. He's also black, but you can tell he's not like you can tell he's not from like Watts. You know what I'm saying? He's a light skinned dude. You know, so
that hurts.
MVP approaches him. MVP approaches him saying, "Hey, he gives him that spill. You need brothers like us to surround you. So we can bring the best out of you, things like that." I think that'd be great. And then you might give him a hard time. He's a little light skinned. Always funny jokes. And then,
do you think he can do it promo wise?
I don't think he has to.
Yeah, I don't think Bobby Lashley can do it promo-wise.
Okay. Look wise, like you think he can?
That's
be
the thing. He's a different type of brother. He's black, but he's a different type of brother. You could tell he's not. He don't speak the same way MVP speaks.
He's like
MVP says, "You need a brother like me. You need a brother like me to show you the ropes. These people have been taking advantage for a long time. Come on over here. We got you." And he might crack a couple of jokes about him being light skinned, and then one day for the breakup, he might snap and get tired of the jokes, push somebody. They start to get into it. It leads to the breakup.
I actually think because Shelton Benjamin's not a small looking guy either. You could actually make it look like Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin are like his like big brothers, and they're like gonna take care of him.
We're gonna bring
like Ricochet could be like a little pussy ass small dude now.
Can I change my answer?
Yeah.
I would bring back Leo Rush.
Leo Rush. I think that's favoritism on your part. I think that's your favoritism.
No, well, he was a talker, and
that's the problem. I think he talks a little bit too much.
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to disagree with that, but I would have to definitely credit him for the new perspective that
That black
everybody
guys can
had
talk.
about Bobby Lashley, because everyone was like, "Oh, Bobby Lashley and his three sisters that him and Sami Zayn were
that's so
beefing."
bad.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's so
but
bad.
then when he started taking over with the
Who interviewed
Almighty,
Bobby for that segment?
which one?
For the who was that? When they interviewed about his three sisters.
Oh,
And
you mean the All
Sami
Star
Zayn?
Renee Young?
Oh, it was Renee Young,
Oh, it
and I
was
don't think
Renee
she
Young.
felt that. Okay, I think we're starting to get a common factor. And
Well,
then
all
for
I'm
my
saying
Owen
is,
Hart,
hey, she had nothing to do with Bailey. This Is Your Life, right?
Mm.
and then another thing. Speaking about black wrestlers,
Well, I want to know his own heart. I want to know.
Thanks.
Yeah, who's your Owen Hart?
my Owen Hart. I'm going to piggyback on mine. Drake Maverick. I think it's a natural fit. He's a funny guy. They can make the jokes about him being short, things like that. I think Drake Maverick would do a great job.
He couldn't fit in the nation, in the new nation.
It's different than the New Nation, though. New Nation's a little bit more angry. These guys are a little bit more street, New Nation is more militia. You feel me?
Obviously, the white guy has to bring the comedic thing.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's Drake Maverick, right?
And, okay,
Yo, man, you
John Cena.
man,
Thugonomics John
you're gonna
Cena.
lose a fucking match at your wedding, my guy. It's
Or
crazy.
low key would be a pretty solid pick. Would be someone
This
like
might be
Kevin
racist
Owens.
if you say it. Oh, I thought you were gonna say all truth.
Who'd you say?
Because all truth.
Just 40-year-old black dudes just all went through.
Yeah.
Yo, you know this picture?
Hey, I wouldn't be mad if they brought back like Mark Henry in a non-speaking role or a non-wrestling role. It's just like the JJ Dillon, I guess, of the Four Horsemen.
The reason I don't think they need to be a talker though is because I think eventually MVP is going to take the full manager role, and then the new person would be taking on the wrestling role. Like, you know how MVP is going for the United States Championship? That shit won't be the case in like 2 months.
The problem is most of those people can't speak, right, Brian?
The first rule.
I think there's plenty of wrestlers that can speak.
Oh, okay. I gotta go, guys. Really quick.
I want to know Quincy's Owen Hart.
Oh, my Owen Hart was either I picked either Chad Gable or Kevin Owens.
You should listen to this podcast sometime, Brian. It's a great show going on.
Nah.
Jeez, dude,
one thing that's hilarious is how I heard, in the same vein for Baca, because we like to keep it racial here when we talk about wrestling. We were laughing at how they were saying like they almost started and stopped, like as far as the thought process behind trying to redo the nation concept, because they were like saying, oh, I don't know, because if you saw Farouk and you saw Mark Henry on screen, but then I heard that they backpedaled like, no, that'd be dumb, that'd be that'd be a shitstorm.
Mm-hmm.
But then they got these Retribution guys coming in looking like the looters in Minnesota.
Oh, okay, really quick.
Hold it real quick. I don't like that they celebrate like a Pop Warner touchdown celebration.
Dude, they slap hands like they pulled a prank on someone at high school, bro. It's so like, hell yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
I think that's the problem too. I think they're like kids, and then some of them are women, right? You can tell.
Dude, their dad owns a dealership.
Yeah.
All right.
What somebody said online is that Retribution should be the grandchildren of the people of all the promoters in the territories that Vince McMahon put out of business, and now
that would be awesome.
To get the revenge. I think that'd be amazing, but I think that's too much in-depth storyline for WWE.
I think it'd be pretty cool if they did that, but they have way too many people going out there.
I was hoping that it was going to be.
These people still got. Goddamn.
I was hoping it was going to be people that they released in April, and
that would be amazing.
The name fits Retribution.
Well, there's two theories. One saying that people think Mike Bennett might be the head of it.
I wouldn't be against it.
And then, but other people are saying that there's a tease that Roman might be the head of it. Like come back and because I guess they were saying that there's a tease that I guess Otis may get beat up, and all of a sudden his Money in the Bank briefcase is taken and no one knows who took it. And then all of a sudden when it comes down to for someone to randomly get cashed in on, it's freaking Roman Reigns with the briefcase, and it kind of comes together that
I'm not buying that one, man.
That seems a very Vince McMahon thing to do, though. It's just don't even let Otis lose it. He just gets it stolen, and then
weirder things
love Otis,
happen.
man. I'm excited about the heel versus heel match. When's the last time we saw a good heel versus heel match, man? This is gonna be awesome, dude.
Donald Trump and Vince McMahon, right?
No, I think the last one was. Oh yeah, and then we also had Edge and Booker T, right?
Which hey,
Fighting over
did
the
you do any more research, Baca, to figure out if Lashley's a Trump supporter?
100%.
You
Quincy,
probably
am
is,
I
right?
wrong?
I have
You
no
don't
idea.
think you don't
But
think
he's
that
ex-military, so
he's
That's what I said.
ex-military? 100%. He's ex-military, and he's super proud about it. He loves his country. He's patriotic, and he represented Donald Trump in the WrestleMania match.
If that's true,
I'm just saying.
These are facts.
6 bills deep. You know, he's tossing them back at the bar. You know, somebody comes in with a Black Lives Matter shirt. I'm thinking Bobby Lashley has an issue with it. You know.
It's
all I'm saying is I don't think he
because
appreciated Colin Kaepernick taking it.
Well, MVP recently, like just yesterday, came out with a video about because he Florida passed that act where convicted felons can vote for the first time in their life. So it's his first time voting.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah, so he had a little video about him, being the first time him being able to vote, but he made it clear that he does not support Trump at all.
Already friction in the hurt business.
So that's how. Listen,
that's what I'm
I
saying.
would give it up, WWE. You have my undying loyalty no matter what. But if they could break up because one guy's a Trump supporter and one guy's Black Lives Matters, that would be amazing. I would be all for that.
Oh,
and then
no,
the other guys
look.
in the group have to choose sides.
So I got it right here. There's proof to the pudding.
And then that's when you get the Undertaker comeback.
Five facts about Bobby Lashley. It says armed robbery stopped him from going to the Olympics.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of these, but it says number one is that he is a Trump supporter.
Wow.
Do you think he's still a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
Like, is this like news?
This was published 2 years ago.
All I'm saying is that Bobby Lashley's going to blue those animals. Okay?
He still has serious issues with Michael Hayes. I'm guessing that's because of the Black Lesnar.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. They said Michael Hayes was really racist. He looks racist.
He does.
Who?
I think every guy that lived in Florida.
Michael Hayes. Oh yeah.
I feel like anyone who worked backstage in the WWE in the last like 2-3 decades is racist.
One of the most surprising facts about Bobby Lashley is the fact he's a Trump supporter. The pair doesn't have a history since Lashley was on Team Trump a couple years ago, which saw Vince McMahon's head shaved after Team Vince suffered a loss against Team Trump at WrestleMania 23. During an interview with the Ottawa Sun, Lashley stated Trump is not a racist. He also said he likes Trump on a professional. He says he likes Trump on a professional and personal level, and that he's doing a good job as POTUS. To each their own.
So hold on, Baca thinks that they actually have a text messaging chat that continues.
Oh, they probably have a texting relationship. I'm sure.
Listen, Republican National Convention. I'm just saying Bobby Lashley might make an appearance because Trump wants that black support. Who else do you get? Bobby Lashley.
He's trying to dominate.
Good-looking black dude. He comes up. He says, "I love this man." He puts his arm around him for a photo op. Don't be surprised if it happens, man.
He gets like a plush or like a balloon version of Biden, hits a Dominator on him.
Yeah,
I can see that.
The problem is Biden
hits a spear.
The problem is like Biden can't speak, so I think
Biden had a really good speech yesterday.
I'm gonna check it out. I haven't seen it. Everyone says it looks amazing, but I don't know, dude. He's like
I saw Michelle flame Trump the other day.
So.
But
all
right, guys. I gotta go. The 5th time me saying this, I got things I have to do. So I would talk to you guys later.
Are you sure you don't want to talk about Lars Sullivan?
So he's coming back, right?
I don't know.
He was posting pictures of him working out.
Posted video. I mean, maybe he's retribution. He can sure use it.
Dude, that guy has. I thought he would have been fired. That guy has so many skeletons in his closet, man.
Dude, I mean, honestly, it's been enough time, right? Where I think we could all just let it go. I mean, there's no fans to boo him.
Which one go?
Yeah, there's a lot.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how good was his performance in that video, Brian? The original one.
I haven't seen it.
A wrestling fan like you. A wrestling fan like you that was an insider.
It was his best performance ever in his career.
Well, that's when that,
So trying to put somebody over.
It's like so when he applied for WWE and then the question was like, have you had prior experience, working with cameras? And he said yes. I guess this is what he's referring to.
That's crazy. All right, guys.